This is a video on how to set up the Torald desk. So you're gonna have two long pieces. These are the sides of the desk. Then you're gonna have the tabletop, and you'll know it's the tabletop because there will be these two holes. And then this is the drawer. So what you're gonna do is put the wooden pegs in all of the sides of the drawer and the tabletop. So you can see they're all here. So now that you have the pegs in, you're going to want to go ahead and start screwing stuff in. So what's really important is that these two holes on this tabletop need to be facing this unfinished part. If you do it the wrong way and you flip it around, you will have to redo the whole thing. Trust me, I know. So here it goes. So when you flip it on its side, you can see there is a finished part, which is the leg of the table, and then finished part. And then if you were to look under here, this part would be the unfinished part. You can see there's a hole here on the leg that denotes that that is the back. And then you can see the two holes should be facing down too. And now we are just going to screw in all of the screws into these holes. JK, not all the holes, just the ones on this side first. Okay, now that I have these three screws in, we're gonna go ahead and add the drawer. Now the drawer is really the same on all sides, so this one's not a really big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in here. And then I'm gonna screw the drawer into these two holes right here. So it should look like this, and now all we're gonna do is we're just gonna add this part and build it the exact same way on this side. So when you prop it up, you're gonna see that the front is gonna have all finished sides, whereas in the back, you are going to have the two unfinished sides. And the reason why I told you guys it's so important to make sure you're putting the top on the right way is because you are now gonna attach the support metal pieces to these two holes. And the two holes are going to prop up from the hole in the back here and going to attach up here. All right, so with these metal pieces, you're gonna just kind of have to play around to see what works. It's hard for me to describe because it's not labeled, but essentially you're gonna want this part to sit flush against the desk because you're gonna screw that in, and you're also gonna want it to screw up here too. So one is obviously going to favor one side more. Once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and use the stubby screws. So not the pointy ones. You're going to use these stubby ones and go ahead and screw them into the holes. I should add for this part, you do need a screwdriver because this isn't going to work. Another way you'll be able to tell it's the right side is because when you go to try to screw it in, you see how there's like a little clearance for the screwdriver to go in. If you were to do it the other way, you'll keep hitting this part. So you are almost done. Okay, so both sides are now screwed in, and then you're left with the little pointy screws, and what you're going to want to do is drill these into here. I do not want to go downstairs and get my power drill, so I'm just going to use my screwdriver. And if you're like me doing it manually, it's a lot easier to tip it on its side. That way you have a little bit of push that you can go ahead and screw that in with. So I went ahead and got those in. You can see it is not going anywhere, which is great. So all that's left are these little babies, and what you're gonna do is just pop them on the bottom, and that is it. Woohoo! All right, so this is the finished product. I'm actually gonna use this as a sewing table, and I have bought some other IKEA drawers to kind of put here, so it's definitely a work in progress. But for $29, you really can't beat this. Hope you found my tutorial helpful.